Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And today, this is me, Gilang Riaqi Pandalu, and my partner, Pranadya Pandu, will present our works about theatrical translation and film adaptation. Today, I, as a moderator, and Pandu, as a presenter, will present our works. Yes, you can start it now.
Okay, hello everybody. It's a great pleasure for me to have an opportunity to present you a review of a book from Phyllis Tatlin, titled Theatrical Translation and Film Adaptation, a Practitioner's View. In this presentation, I will talk about the content of the book and how relevant it is for someone who wants to be a translator. So I will explain this presentation in approximately 10 minutes, and the Q&A session will be held by next week. So without further ado, let's just begin the presentation. Translated novels and poems often arrive footnoted with cultural notes on words and allusions obscure to the reader's cultural heritage. But translations of performance, whether of theatrical or cinematic dramas, have no recourse to such device. The language experience in performance has all the tensions of an instructive conversation, with no opportunity for review or back-channeling. The immediacy of the audience's engagement sticks the range of options available to the translator. So, Satlin's text, theatrical translation, and film adaptation, a practitioner's view focuses on the distinctive challenges for translators of these forms and offers a wealth of practical experience for those who are willing to take on the task of dramatic translation. In this book, Saturn focuses the first half of her text on theatrical translation from chapter 1 to chapter 5, followed by a brief bridge chapter on subtitling and dubbing for theater and film on chapter 6, and finally, a discussion of the film adaptation of theatrical pieces, chapter 7 and 8. First section enlivens the often overlooked work of the theatrical translator with war stories from a group of experienced practitioners, including Zen herself. Though her informants work mostly in the American and European theatrical works, the stories answer most questions a novice in the field might have, presenting a thoughtful solution within complex context, thereby providing support rather than prescriptive answers for handling problems in their work. In the end, Satlin's only prescription to translators are that they maintain fidelity to the original while providing the audience with as similar an experience as available target in the target language, and that they preserve the distinctiveness of the piece without exoticizing it to the exoticizing it for the native audience. As a case of the translation for American audiences show, the network of balances driven by audience definition is not always an easy one to achieve. This balance inevitably requires a great deal of creativity, and Zetlin sensibly advises only those experienced in the field of theater to take on such work. For the most successful translations incorporate the insights of the original writers as well as the directors and performers who interpret the works. Next. Still, there's a tragedy lurking within this drama. For all the exciting stories of challenging contexts, none of her informants advises the field as a plausible career. So despite the variety of resources available, the chapter 3 offers an abundance of organization and website URLs, particularly in France and Germany. The practitioner suggests it as sideline work for academics or a favor for friends in the arts rather than a career in itself, mainly due to money, but also to the lack of job security in an uncertain market. However, more opportunities seem to be available in subtitling and dubbing, as Kathleen discusses in chapter 5. Here, she answers a vexing question for foreign film buffs. Why do subtitles in films never perfectly align with the speech on the screen? Again, the answer lies in the constraint of translating for transient experience. With consideration to reading capacity, the translator often provides only a chief level interpretation of an actor's word. Noting studies in language processing, Satan also discusses where to place line breaks in subtitles, at phrase boundaries, of course, and how long to maintain a subtitle on screen. All of this proves interesting on a trivial level, but chapter 5 also marks a shift in the style of presentation in the text. Next.
Are you sure this is all are explained? The bottom ones?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Having less experience with film than with theater, Sadlin drops the practitioner's perspective here for a more distantly analytical one. Her chapters on the adaptation of stage drama to the screen, rather than offering stories from the trenches, shift to theorizing and post-analysis of the decisions directors likely made in transposing a play to the cinematic medium. Zetlin's is with presenting this case may lie in her nearly exclusive focus on 20th century Spanish film adaptations. Theater of Spain, reacting to and recovering from the Franco era, appears to have more explicit politics than most American drama or film. The later film versions of the scripts, benefiting from distance and relative political stability, can easily tone down the political messaging. However, the selective and unknowledged scoping of Satan's evidence obscures other possible narratives in the adaptation of scripts to the screen. Next. Though moviegoers are still occasionally treated to lush, lame, and loyal adaptations, such as Michael Hoffman's Midsummer Next Dream, the past decade has also offered some surprising and effective adaptation. Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet successfully conveys Shakespeare's musicality in a contemporary setting of mass media infiltration. Julie Taymor's Titus, with its startling filmic image, struggles to soar above Shakespeare's infamously rickety script of political decadence, and even the relatively light Ten Things I Hate About You manages to maintain the charm of the part story of gender warfare, the taming of the shrew, with crackling adolescent sexuality and humor. Counter evidence like these cases, which enliven the theatrical in the more recent medium, are left out of Zetlin's analysis. Okay, next. So, in summary, texts on translation often begin with the old adage trudatore traditore. Roughly, to translate is to betray. Like the proverbial double agent, the translator juggles two languages and two cultures at minimum, striving to serve two masters, the original and the target language audience. While Zetin successfully presents the translator more heroically than this in the first half of her text, more as a valid part enabling all the proper couplings, she winds up betraying the practice of film adaptation in the second, leaving her audience with the question of why the practitioner acted as she did.
Okay, you are done about presentation.
Okay. Yes. So,
Okay,
thank you.
thanks your participation. And now this is our presentation about theatrical translation and film adaptation. So maybe in I can make the conclusion that theatrical is one of the most sorry, yeah, maybe I'm not well prepared for this. So in the end, I will say thank you for everyone who is may pay attention for our presentation. And today our presentation is over. Again, I say thanks a lot for you guys and girls. If you have any curiosity, you can ask us in the comment section. Okay, this is over. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.